just get your mind.
This evening on The Experience, we're going to pink the rink. We're going to tell you all about that coming up. Also, professional bull riders are coming to the DCU, and we'll tell you about that as well. But we're going to start with Broadway arriving in Worcester for another fabulous season coming up. Troy, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
So the Hanover Theater now, I mean, just a huge success. One of the top, I don't want to get this wrong, one of the top 50
That's
theaters?
right.
Okay, top 50.
That's right.
That's very impressive. I mean, how many years for the Hanover?
8
Not many.
years, just 8 years we've been open.
Yeah, so really just shows that there has been such a thirst for this. I was at the Broadway announcement party, the release party, if you will, for the names of all of the shows that are coming up. That party itself, I think, shows how much excitement there is. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the party, first of all, and about the excitement that generates, and then we'll announce all the shows for anybody who missed them.
Sure. Well, we had almost 1,000 people there, which
Wow.
for an event where there's no indication up front of what's going to happen, right? It's an announcement of a series of shows. You don't know what they are yet, much less what's going to happen at the event. So for us to draw 1,000 people to that, I think is a good indication that there's some interest.
Yeah. And it shows. I was just going to say, how many people want that kind of entertainment here in central Massachusetts. We've talked about this in the past, but again, people coming west instead of always going east.
Yeah, sure. I think that, there are people in Worcester certainly who drive into Boston, but it's not just Worcester. It's the region around us, 20-25-mile radius, the people who'd rather drive here to see a Broadway show than they would to drive into Boston and spend a lot less money, a lot easier drive in and out, parking, all those things.
All right, so first up was Cinderella.
Cinderella, that's right. That's the only Rodgers and Hammerstein that was written for the stage, actually, written for the screen.
Yeah.
And then this production that opened on Broadway 4 years ago is the first time it's actually made it to the stage. So this is an original Rodgers and Hammerstein production.
And again, these are all shows that have been on Broadway or on Broadway, and these are the touring companies.
That's right.
That are coming here that used to either stop in Boston or Providence, but now are coming to Worcester.
That's right. That's right. They replicate the Broadway production as much as they can on the road.
Wow.
Sure.
Fantastic. All right, so we had Cinderella.
Yeah.
Next up was, I might not get the order right. Next up was Kinky Boots.
Kinky Boots, the musical.
Yeah.
That's right. The music's by Cyndi Lauper, and it's produced on Broadway by.
Who produced it? Oh, not like Harvey Feinstein.
Yes, Harvey Feinstein.
Great.
There you go.
I was paying attention.
There you go. Extra points for that. It is phenomenal. I mean, I think some people are afraid of the title. It's a musical about acceptance, about getting to know others. It's a shoe company in England that's about to go out of business, and that they find a way to make money and bring themselves back to life by making big, tall,
for
flamboyant boots for drag shows.
If anybody has seen the movie, which is not a musical, it's a delightful film. I mean, it's a terrific film. And then for Cyndi Lauper to have done this music, best musical, did it win? Yeah. So I mean, this is a great show. And by the way, may I say, you look stunning in the boots.
The things we do. But you know what? It get you talking about it.
Wait,
right?
sure.
So I'll put
on
an
image that it will stay in my mind
to get people talking about it.
Where did you get them?
The show will send them to us. They've got them in every
Wow.
size.
In every size.
If you just give us your shoe size, we can see if we can set you up.
Don't think I won't, or that I don't already have a pair at home. All right. Now, was next the show to be named later?
That's right. That's right. In April, we'll make an announcement of the third show, which runs during that week between Christmas and New Year's.
What if I told you this show wouldn't air until April?
Then I still wouldn't tell you.
You still wouldn't tell me.
I don't trust you.
Now, why is this because of all the contracts, or because it's still running on Broadway?
Sometimes the show's running in another market that's within a driving distance from here.
I see.
So you have to be careful.
Okay. Very cool. What else is coming for the Broadway series?
Once the musical, which is an Irish musical. What makes it really unique is the cast are the musicians. They play their instruments on stage as a part of the action. It's just a phenomenal tour de force. It's a real
beautiful. And another one that's based on an outstanding film. Is this sort of a trend that we're seeing now on Broadway?
It is, actually. It is the movie musicals. They're really started. I think that MGM started this trend a few years ago with Legally Blonde, I think was the first. And they started looking at how to put, if you're going to put this kind of money into a Broadway show, how can you be more assured of success? Well, you start with a story that's already been successful on screen.
Right.
So
Finding Neverland is on Broadway right now. Same kind of thing. I mean, a great movie with Johnny Depp. But Kinky Boots. And once may not be films that you would necessarily think of when you think about, geez, I'm going to take that movie and translate it to a musical.
And some of them don't work, frankly, but some of them really do. Some
Yeah.
of them are just phenomenal. And
Yeah,
Kinky Boots
both
is
of
one
these.
those.
Yeah, Kinky Boots
Certainly.
and Once. Yeah, both of
Certainly.
these are beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, what else is on
Pippin.
the list? Yeah.
Pippin the musical. So this production of Pippin was launched by American Repertory Theater in Cambridge, right? And it incorporates circus and magic elements along with the musical. And it is phenomenal. I saw it in New York last year, and it was the most surprising and wonderful experience I'd had seeing a Broadway show.
I got to tell you, I also, a
expect
couple of
to
these
see.
I have also seen on Broadway, and Pippin was one. And the way in which they did it, and I mean, you talk about the magic that they do, the whole sort of circus motif, it was just knock your socks off, phenomenal. And now it's going to be right here in Worcester.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. When you're putting this together, for example, now you saw Pippin. Now, does that sort of make you say, boy, I've got to bring that, or your personal preference doesn't really come into it? It's sort of the luck of the draw.
Well, how do you avoid your personal preference coming into it, right? I mean, sure, it naturally does, and you try to temper it a little bit. You say, well, I love that, but I'm not sure everybody else will. But on this one, you don't have to worry about that. It is such a crowd pleaser.
Oh,
that
what a
everybody's
wonderful,
gonna love
wonderful
it.
show. And as you pointed out, when the 1,000 people showed up just to hear the shows being announced, longer stay for the shows this time around.
That's right. Well, 3 of them run a full week, and the others run 6 performances. So we're adding Thursday nights to the subscription for the first time this year.
Well,
so
that's great. Just again, continuing to build on this success. All right, so after Pippin,
Motown the musical.
Yeah, and
Motown.
that,
it's of next year's series. It's the newest show. It was it still is running on Broadway. It's a huge hit, and it sold out a month in Boston last year, but it was the month of February, and we like to say, well, a lot of people didn't get to Boston in February last year. If you remember February,
boy, you bet.
So it'll be in May next year.
Good.
So out of snow season and much safer, but it is a.
And I mean, here you talk about a crowd pleaser. So
Yeah.
here, everybody will be dancing in the aisle, dancing in their seats, and this is why 1,000 people come to hear this announcement about what shows. You had 2 of the stars of
did.
Motown the musical right there on stage to get everybody revved up and excited. It was marvelous. What a great performance!
And it's great when the schedule works out like that, that you between performances or something, you can bring them in to just be part of this announcement. And they did 3 songs and a little snippet from the show. Just phenomenal. Just keep people revved up.
It was
for
great. I can only imagine, because of course people were signing up for their subscriptions that night at the Hanover. That having seen that, so many people must have gone. For those who weren't there, obviously they want to sign up. They want to get the season-long subscription, which is all 6 shows or 5.
It's actually 7 shows.
7 shows, right?
Yeah, you can get all 7 shows, or you can pick 6 and
Okay.
take out any one of the 7.
Great, fantastic. People can do that right now. Those tickets are all on sale for the new Broadway
That's right.
series.
Well, part of being a subscriber is you get to lock your seats in every year. So right now, if you're a subscriber already, you get to renew your seats. And until you tell us you don't want them this year, they're your seats.
Yeah.
So the flip side of that is if you're a new subscriber, we can't seat you yet because we have to protect our existing subscribers.
Sure. Now, if you're a new go ahead. This might have been where you were going.
But get your name in the queue, right? Fill out the
right.
form now, because as soon as we finish renewing subscribers, we'll seat the new subscribers, and we do those in the order in which they're received.
What I was thinking with adding the Thursday night shows too, is there a chance, a la being at Gillette or something where you've been a subscriber and better seats become available, do you get a shot at those?
That's right. Absolutely, you do. This is the first time in several years we've got a brand new subscribe performance. So those Thursday night seats, I think we'll have a lot of people go for that. And frankly, we'll have a lot of people who subscribe on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, moving to Thursday so that they can sit in the front, which is going to free up some seats on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's good all around.
Hey, what a great lineup. Thanks so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the time. I'm always happy to talk about it. Right?
Appreciate it. We're going to talk about bull riding. So a little bit of a transition here, but some more great entertainment coming to Worcester, this time to the DCU, and that's on the way on the Hank Stolz Experience.
To let us